I would just keep to myself. I was one of the worst nights of my life. Out of all Indians are my brothers and sisters. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I know this video is not something that I was trying to make, but then it suddenly struck me that, you know what, it's really important. And also, I just love how all of you have started calling me Dee whenever you comment or you message me or even email me. Everybody's like, Dee, this happened, or Dee, what should I do? And it's like, I like that you guys have taken a page out of all Indians are my brothers and sisters. I'm not complaining, okay? I really like it. But yeah, I definitely think mental health is so important. As a country, our mental health is really bad, but specifically like when it comes to like competitive exams, there needs to be more of a talk about the kind of struggles that you face internally when you are preparing for an exam like CLAT, JEE, NEET, etc, etc. And as somebody who just went through that for 2 years, let me tell you, I am so at peace right now. It's actually kind of frightening. I swear, like the first like month after I completed my CLAT and I got my results and I was sort of enrolled, I was like, oh my god, I have never known peace like this before. And yeah, so I want to talk about my own journey and my own struggles and just tell you a little bit, because I'm not a licensed professional. I can't really help you, and I know most of you might not even get the help that you need because people don't really take it. And also we might not always, like, I don't know, even if my parents did take it seriously, I would not. I would I would just burst out like once in like 4 months. I would start crying and shrieking at the top of my lungs. And yeah, that is really what I used to do most of the time. But on an everyday basis, I would just keep to myself. I would not really talk about these struggles that I was facing within me. But yeah, and so I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I know so many of you email me, text me, and also comment about your mental health struggles during this preparation. Some of you have already given your exam once, and you're very scared about failing a second time. You think a lot about other people's perception about you. Then also there's like things like, you know, mock scores and the anxiety that comes with it. And I get it. And honestly, nothing is more important than your mental health, because who are you and what are you even working for if not to have a happier future, right? And if you're just ruining everything in the present, then there's no point. Honestly, I would urge you to just be a little less cruel on yourself, because yeah, this is a huge country, right? We are one of the most populated country in the world, and you are competing with in a country where there are just way too many people, and it's going to be infinitely more difficult for us to get a seat into one of the top colleges, because we don't have a lot of good colleges per se, like according to society's definition of what is good, and you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, just be kind to yourself, and regardless of whether you get into CLAT or not this year, next year, whatever, whenever you're watching this video, it does not matter. It doesn't reflect your self-worth, because it's just an exam, right? It's just one paper, it's just an exam. There are so many other careers and life choices that you can take, and you can be infinitely more happy. You can have other things as well. So don't think this is the end all be all, right? Now, having said all of that, let's move into my CLAT journey and all the mental health issues, not issues, I would say mostly like struggles that I faced. So first is definitely let's rewind back to like class 11, right? So I got into class 11. I was in science. Whole different story. I don't even want to talk about it. And I was just not having it, right? So I had gotten enrolled in all of these tuitions, these science tuitions, and all of them were JEE tuitions, right? That's because it's very hard to find actually normal, like just science, just physics, or just chemistry tuitions. Like most teachers will teach both, because I mean, why not? So I go into these tuitions and I feel a severe syndrome of imposter syndrome. Like I face a severe case of imposter syndrome, because I'm sitting in this class, like these huge batches of 50 people, 100 people, and everybody has this goal. They want to crack NEET, they want to crack JEE, and I am sitting there like just like an imposter, right? Like I don't have these goals. I don't even know how many questions there are in JEE, right? And that's after 2 years of JEE coaching. So yeah, and it's just bad for mental health, because I kept feeling really bad, and every time I would think about it, I would actually get teary-eyed, because I don't know, it was just very weird. But I just felt like I didn't belong there, and I was just there and I was wasting my time. I could have sat instead anywhere else and studied for my CLAT instead, and it was just a really bad. And then there was this one specific incident that happened at the end of class 11 actually. Actually, my mother called this teacher up, this one of my science teachers. I'm not mentioning the subject or what. So this person, I'm not even going to mention the gender of this person, right? So this person goes like, and my mother tells this person that, okay, I guess it was like after a year-end topic. Like this person wanted to talk with all the parents basically, like had sent a group chat, text, okay. and my mother calls this person up, and while talking she reveals to this person that okay, so she doesn't really want to study JE or anything of that sort. Again, I said I was a very quiet kid in all of these tuitions. I never really spoke. I just did my work, just flew under the radar, because I just wanted to make sure that I knew all the topics that I needed for boards, and I just wanted to leave. So I never really spoke to this person, right? So my mother tells this person, so this is what she wants to do and stuff like that, and this person goes, oh yeah, this is just a form of escapism, you know. She's trying to just, she thinks she's not good enough for JE, so that is the reason she wants to do CLAT, because of course, like nobody can willingly choose a subject, right? They have to feel like, oh, I'm not good enough for JE, I'm not good enough for NEET, and that is the reason I chose CLAT. And I was on speaker at that time, right? So I'm hearing it, and I was already, as an aspirant, you are on a fragile state, right? Like you already have so much of self-doubt, you have so much pressure that you put on yourself, that others don't even put on, but you put on yourself on the behalf of other people. And then you hear somebody just go like, oh, this is just shit, and then this person mentions this anecdote of this other girl who had given CLAT and JE simultaneously or something, and she didn't get into any of them. And I remember I cried so much that day, and my mom was like, relax, like this person doesn't even know you, which is fine, right? Like this person doesn't know me, this person doesn't even know what kind of a student I am, this person has no idea about my history, of who I am, what I want to do, why I even want to give CLAT, and why should I care so much about this person's opinion, right? But the thing is, I just couldn't keep it in me that day, and I cried so much. And it's just those things, right? Those tip off points, because you're already struggling so much with keeping like trusting yourself, and then just somebody comes in, barges in, and just shatters all your self-confidence on the floor. And actually, honestly, there was other incidences also that happened with this person later on, like that this person came to know about this thing that happened in the middle of the class. One day this person tells me, you know what, Shirin, law is not a field for girls, you know, because it's just very difficult, and plus you're going to be a first generation lawyer, it's going to be very difficult again. Which honestly, I know I should have felt bad about this. I just nodded, I was like, yeah, okay. And right, I know this person is not coming from a bad place, I know that for a fact, because yeah, this person is not coming from a bad place. But here's the thing, right, and this is like really important. The thing is ki it was that moment I was like, yeah, I know that this person does not have any idea about what this subject is, because this person has never heard about corporate, this person never heard about jobs in law, you know. This person has probably that idea of that, you know, lawyers sit with an umbrella and wait for clients who are near and far in between, this 1980s version of what a lawyer is, I guess. I don't know even. And I was like, you know what, just like, I don't care. I really didn't care after that. I was like, but on the flip side, I've had some amazing experiences with other teachers. And yeah, like there were some teachers who were also from science who helped me like nobody else, right? Like gave me extra classes, knew fully well what I was going to do, but still I was not giving their targeted exams. They still went out of their way to do extra classes, give me extra classes, complete my syllabus right before my boards, and even redid the entire syllabus with me. Like one of my teachers did this, and I'm so grateful for all these people. And yeah, so this is just one of the experiences. So there's good and bad, right? But I want to talk about this because it just happens, okay? Like you're in throughout your entire preparation, you are going to come across this one person who has no idea about your field, who has no idea what you're doing, but will give you gyan, like in and they're going to like put their opinions about something that they have no idea about. So yeah, that was. And the other thing that I struggled with a lot was the isolation, because I was self-studying. Now I am a big proponent of self-studying because it helps you to manage your time better. You're able to understand your strengths and weaknesses, and you actually, I feel like somebody who self-studies probably is going to have a better exam, right? But there is one aspect of self-studying which I hate, which is the isolation, right? Because I don't think I saw somebody, a CLAT aspirant, in the physical form before like August or something of 2022, right? And my exam was in December. So for the entire almost 1 year of my CLAT preparation, I had never seen somebody who also had the same goal as me, and that can have so many effects on you, right? Because there are so many questions that you have and doubts that you have as an aspirant, and it just never gets fulfilled. And you know, I try my best to answer all of your questions, but I know that sometimes I can feel it myself, yeah, I'm not able to write a proper answer, right? Because again, it's about relation, right? Like I'm not giving that exam now, so I don't have those same things going on in my mind. And also like I'm just a better person when you're talking to me in person. So yeah, I suck at texting, so maybe that is another reason. But yeah, there is these things, right? And I try my best to reach out to you and try to help you with your issues as much as I can, because I know how it felt to be so isolated and to not really know whether whatever you're doing, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's working or not. And yeah, like it was just very hard, right, to even know that. And as I said, the people that I met in August and like July, August, I think was the first time I actually met an actual CLAT aspirant. That was when I went to give a mock to the career launcher place, and that was also like 5 to 10 minutes of interaction with people, because I was giving my mock, right, for the most majority of the time, and then I would just leave as soon as my mock would be over. And yeah, so it wasn't, so I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have any like friends who were giving CLAT. So it was very difficult for me to sort of like keep yourself motivated, because you don't really have anybody to tell you what to do or even to explain to you. And I didn't even know anybody who had given this exam and cracked it. Like I just did not know anybody. I definitely think CLAT has gotten more popular in the last 2 years. And so now like I get so many questions, like calls from like mutual friends, like mutual people and like acquaintances and stuff, you know, somebody wants to give CLAT and they talk to me, and I always talk to them and I always make them feel that yes, they can do it. And I always tried my best to talk. A lot of people from even my school has called me up, like my juniors, and I try to give them the best advice that I can. But for me, there was very few people that I knew who had cracked CLAT and gotten into an NLU or gotten into NUJS and stuff like that. And for me, it was just that isolation was very difficult for me to handle. So editing Shirin here, I just want to mention one of the things that helped me a lot to control my emotions and my intrusive like thoughts about this and that, oh, I'm gonna fail, etc, etc, was to actually just immerse myself in a lot of like extracurriculars and hobbies. And I would honestly request you to do the same as well. I just did a lot of crazy stuff in my last year of school. Like I think I did like a fashion show, did a bunch of stuff. I went to a lot of debates, didn't really win any, but whatever. I also like did like I hosted my school's own fest. I participated in a lot of other fests. I did obviously a lot of like dancing events and stuff. Out of my school's editorial board, and I made like a magazine, edited stuff. And I'm honestly gonna be telling you that anybody who tells you, oh, you have to like take a step back and just like, you know, focus on your academics, CLAT is not such a time consuming exam to prepare for. Okay, if you're consistent, you're going to be able to clear it. So there's no reason why you should not delve into your school's extracurriculars. It's going to really help you. All of these activities really help me out, and I would actually say that definitely have other hobbies and other extracurriculars that you can do, because that will help you to keep your mind off these and just refresh you so that you can actually prepare better for your exam. And the other part was I'm just looking at my notes, and there's this thing called the mock leaderboard. So whenever you give a mock test, there's a leaderboard that comes, and I cannot tell. Okay, here's the thing: if you're one of those aspirants, right, who purposely cheat your way and get 130 out of 150 or 140 out of 150, let me tell you, there's a special place in hell reserved for you. Okay, because you have given me so much of trouble, and you're paying for my therapy if I find you. I'm not even joking. This is a literal crime. I swear. But every time there would be this, and this has happened in all coaching institutes. Okay, I'm not even signaling one person thing out. I had given mocks across various platforms, and let me tell you, there would always be these, I don't know, these random people, and not even like one or two, like so many people who had gotten like 130 out of 150, 145. Sometimes there was even somebody who had gotten 150 out of 150, right? And my confidence would get so shattered, because I am getting like 95 or 96 out of 150, and my rank would be like in 200s, right, in this mock. Like, and it would just shatter so much, because it's like, bro, like this is like approximately, let's say even 2,000 people are giving this mock, and I am getting 200 rank out of it. What is going to happen when 60,000 people, you know, like I was doing these maths constantly, and I was like, oh my god, this is so bad. To all the CLAT aspirants, leaderboard does not matter. Trust me when I say this, the leaderboard does not matter. Look at your accuracy, look at how much you are getting, look at if you are doing better than your previous mocks. That is all you need to do. Do not look at that leaderboard, because 90% of the time it's rigged. It's very rigged. Most people, you know, most of the time, I don't even know who does it, who are these people who do it, but yeah, it's most of the time it's very rigged, right? So yeah, this is just something I wanted you guys to know. And The third was, like the last thing that I want to talk about was my last week of CLAT preparation and the day of my class. I never really had any sort of like pressure from my parents per se. Like my parents never really forced me or like anybody else. Like everybody was very nice to me and very supportive honestly, and never really felt any sort of pressure. But I took those pressure from them. You know, like मैंने उनसे like ऐसे ही उधार ले ली without them even giving me. I was like no. My parents का expectations are on my shoulder. My friends का expectations are on my shoulder. Everybody 100 साल के पड़ोसी का expectations are also on my shoulder. So I was like, you know what? Everybody's expectations are on my shoulder. So I have to somehow prove myself, and that led me to almost winning my CLAT actual day ka exam. And let me just tell you, if it had not been for me taking a step back after 30 minutes into my CLAT exam, right? So I am giving my CLAT exam. It's around like 2 घंटे का exam है. So first I start with English, and I am constantly spiraling in my head. I'm thinking, oh my god, what if I don't get it? This is my last chance. Also, ELIT was really bad. I did get 265 rank in ELIT or 263, I don't remember. But anyways, I didn't clear. It was a pretty decent rank considering how bad my exam was. So and that was like 1 week between. I was also very sick. So I remember I came to CLAT and I was like, you know what? I'm constantly spiraling and I'm thinking, okay, this is really bad. Oh my god, what if I don't get it? This is my only chance. I don't have any backup plans. मुझे नहीं पता क्या होने वाला है मेरे साथ. I have given my heart and soul into this. Everybody knows that this is what I've been preparing for. What if I don't get it? And that half an hour I spiraled and I ruined my English paper. English was my strongest. Every mock of my life I have gotten above 25 in English, or at least above 20, right? Even if it's a very bad hard mock. In my CLAT I got 13 or 14 in English. And the reason is very simply, I was spiraling, right? I read the questions wrong. I marked wrong questions. In my head I was like option A, but I marked option B. There were such things that I did, and I will never forgive myself for how I ruined that. But I think like halfway in that half an hour point, I sat down with myself. I was like, I took this 1 minute off, I remember, and I was like, you know what? It does not matter what, but you're going to ruin your paper the way you're thinking anyways. So take a chill back and just do your paper. Do your paper normally. Do not think about other people. Think about the paper, right? And I said this to myself and I was like, go. And I started writing the paper and my last few sections were amazing. And let me just tell you, I am so happy that I was able to clear it. And I was able to get into the college that I wanted to. I always wanted to get into WBNUJS. So yeah. And yeah, also ends well. But the thing is, it's just I don't think I will ever be able to recover from the trauma that I went through while trying to give this exam. And even today, like when I talk about this exam or whenever CLAT and preparation and stuff come up, like I don't know why, I just feel really weird about it. Like I came back from my CLAT thing. Another advice to everybody, okay, who's gonna give CLAT in the future: do not come home and try to see how many questions you got right. You are going to ruin your health, you're going to ruin your mental health, you're going to ruin your physical health, right? I had physical manifestations of the heartbreak I was experiencing when I was trying to correct my paper, right? So as I said, my first part was English, right? And I ruined my English paper. So when I was going through my English and I was realizing I was getting 10 or 12 or 13 like that, something like that, I remember, and again, these analyses were not from my own side. Like these analyses were mostly like from the coaching places and stuff. Like a lot of places do that. Honestly, not going to recommend this, okay? Like if you come home, do not care about what the coaching people and all the whatever they are saying. Chances are some of the questions they're mostly wrong in, and it's just not worth it for your mental health, because ho gaya, right? So there's no point of like looking at it. And as I said, do not come home and do that. And I did that. I spiraled. I was so sick. I remember I had to take antibiotics, but I couldn't eat, so I took antibiotics without eating, and that led to, let's just say, I was throughout the night I couldn't sleep. I was sweating, my heart was beating fast. I didn't even know how much of it was because of my mental health and how much of it was because, you know, of this antibiotic that I ate without eating food. But yeah, so that was bad. Like the night after my CLAT exam, then it was bad. It was one of the worst nights of my life, I guess. It was just so bad and so traumatic. And I remember the next day I just woke up and I was like, you know what, no, I'm just gonna go have lunch with my cousins. And that's what I did. I went out and had lunch with my cousins, and yeah, so that's how I just left it. And I know it's easier for me sometimes. Like a lot of people say that I'm one of those people who can really switch off sometimes in my brain, and that really helps because I have this ability to just magically switch off, which is great for me. But for most people, I know that's not. But I hope I was able to help you out. I mean, I don't know how I helped you in this video, but I just want to talk candidly about my experience. And yes, also let me know if you want this to become like some sort of a series where I keep talking about mental health, you know, in law school and stuff like that. If that happens, then yes, you know what, let me come up with like a name for this. Let's see, what can we do? We can name this Real Talk. Yes, we should name this Real Talk, and this is episode 1, right? So this is episode 1, and I don't know when episode 2 is going to come out, probably 2 years later, but yeah. So subscribe and like, and bye. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.